Stop waiting. Start working on your dreams now. I know you've heard it a million times before. Follow your dreams. Chase your passions. And I know it's easy to roll your eyes and think, yeah, sure, easy for you to say. But hear me out, because this isn't just some Instagram-worthy motivational quote. Let me ask you something. What's holding you back? Is it fear? Is it money? Is it the overwhelming pressure of where do I even start? I've been there. We've all been there. The gap between where you are now and where you want to be can feel like a canyon so wide you can't even see the other side. But here's the kicker. The longer you stand there staring at that gap, the wider it's going to feel. Dreams don't come with a perfect blueprint. There's no step-by-step manual that guarantees success. The only thing that guarantees you'll never achieve your dreams is if you never start. You don't have to know everything. You just have to start. Take one small step. One tiny, imperfect, messy little step. I'll let you in on a secret. Nobody knows what they're doing at first. That artist you admire, they didn't wake up one day with a gallery full of work. That entrepreneur, they failed dozens of times before they got it right. Every success story that you've ever heard started with someone pushing past their fear and just putting themselves out there. You are no different. You're not exempt from the messy beginning. But here's the good news. That mess is where the magic happens. I get it. Nobody wants to feel judged or embarrassed. The thought of putting yourself out there and having people laugh, criticize, or roll their eyes can be enough to stop you before you even begin. But here's the thing. You're going to have to risk looking like a fool to make your dreams a reality. Putting yourself out there is terrifying. You might fail. You might make a fool of yourself. People might not get it. But so what? The people who matter, the ones worth having in your life, they're going to cheer you on, not tear you down. And if they don't, well, that's a sign it's time to surround yourself with better people. Let's talk about why you're scared of looking foolish. It usually comes down to two things: fear of judgment and fear of failure. Let me say this loud and clear. People are going to judge you no matter what you do. You could spend your whole life trying to please everyone, and there will still be someone who doesn't like you. That's just reality. So, if people are going to judge you anyway, you might as well give them something worth talking about. Most people aren't even paying as much attention as you think. They're too busy worrying about their own lives, their own insecurities, their own fears of looking foolish. They're too afraid to chase their own dreams, but you don't have to be. Sometimes, this fear of theirs will lead them to try to hold others down as well, because they don't want to see them achieve what they're too scared to even try. Is this really the kind of person you care to impress? Now, let's talk about failure. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the process. You're not going to nail it on the first try, and that's okay. Think about a baby bird learning to fly. The process is awkward, uncomfortable. The parent kicks them out of the nest and they flap and flap, unable to catch air under their wings. But before they hit the ground, the chick figures it out, and suddenly they can soar. They can do what most species could only ever dream of. It's the same with your dreams. You're going to make mistakes. Sometimes it'll feel like the ground is rushing at your face and time is running out. But every time you mess up, every time you flap your wings and fail to fly, you're learning what doesn't work, so you can get one step closer to figuring out what does. So, now that you know the why, let's talk about the how. Start off by embracing the foolishness. What if, instead of trying to avoid looking foolish, you leaned into it? What if you let yourself be a beginner and gave yourself permission to make mistakes? Nobody is amazing right out of the gate. Allow yourself to be bad at something, knowing that's how you eventually get good at it. It's okay to start small. You don't have to announce your dream to the world on day one. Start in a way that feels safe to you. Practice singing in your room. Write stories that only you read. Take baby steps until you feel more confident. When fear creeps in, remember why you're doing this in the first place. What excites you about your dream? What makes it worth the risk? Hold on to that feeling. Let it be louder than your fear. Find people who believe in you. Share your dream with a close friend who will cheer you on, not tear you down. The right people will encourage you to take the leap and catch you when you fall. Remember, nobody starts out perfect. Think about the people you admire most. Imagine them on their first day, their first awkward attempt. They probably felt exactly the way you do now. But they kept going, and that's what made the difference. The thing is, time is going to pass whether you start working on your dreams or not. A year from now, you can either be 1 year closer to the life you've always wanted, or you can still be standing in the same place, wondering, what if? Which one are you going to choose? Look, the fear of looking like a fool never fully goes away. But you can't let it be the thing that stops you. Every time you push past that fear, you get a little stronger, a little more confident. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to show up. Even if it's 10 minutes a day, even if it's one tiny step forward. Momentum builds with action, not intention. So start. Even if it's scary, even if it's messy, even if you feel like a fool. Because one day, you'll look back on this moment and thank yourself for being brave enough to try. Let me know in the comments what dream you're working on and what small step you're taking today to get there. I'd love to hear your story because, trust me, we're in this together. Stay awesome. Stay weird. I'll catch you in the next one.